I think I would serve best if Mike Flynn were director of the CIA.
You've mentioned General Flynn several times, and I'm wondering, do you guys go back to your intelligence days? Is he an old friend? Or?
Now, I know Mike Flynn personally, and I know one other person whose name I cannot share with you. And I believe that QAnon is the single greatest information operation in the history of humanity. And now I'm talking to, I'd say, easily a dozen people who are themselves associated in some way with QAnon.
Do you have an idea of how many are involved?
I keep hearing the number 5 as the actual number of people that are writing.
You went on a YouTube channel in February 2017.
We have pedophilia, which is child sex abuse. Then we have torturing children to create adrenochrome, forcing fetuses to be delivered and eaten on site as part of the ritual.
Is it coincidence that a year later, when QAnon came out and was all about those things?
Q is an elaborately constructed operation that's been planned for years that is clearly achieving extraordinary impact. And I certainly take no credit for QAnon focusing on this stuff.
Coming up on
Search for Q.
We were speaking with a journalist earlier who mentioned a person named Thomas Schoenberger. Do you know who that is? We're in DC speaking with Robert David Steele, a former CIA operative who champions many of the baseless conspiracy theories that Q is based on.
So, for the record then, have you at any point had any involvement in QAnon?
No.
In any way?
No. I am not one of the QAnon people.
I don't know, it's just, I feel like so many things you really were in front of.
I'm not Q.
I don't...
Is that what you were worried about? That we were
I'm not worried about anything.
So how would you go about finding the real Q?
I don't think it's worth doing. I think what you should be focusing on is not Q. You should be focusing on the Great Awakening.
And what's the distinction there?
The Great Awakening is at the heart and soul of the public.
What is the Great Awakening?
I think the Great Awakening is people are starting to realize that if they don't pay attention and govern themselves, they will become slaves. Q is like the dinner bell. It's not the dinner. Totally ready for you to throw out names.
Okay, really?
We were speaking with a journalist earlier who mentioned a person named Thomas Schoenberger. Do you know who that is?
I'm not going to talk about that individual.
What's happening right now?
You're sounding my alarm bells.
We don't mean to upset you.
Yeah. I have no interest in discussing that individual. Yeah, I'm inclined to just stop here.
Okay.
All right, I wish you all well.
Wish you well as well.
We'll walk you out.
You guys can stay here. Let me just see myself out.
Sure thing.
Okay?
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That was super